last week we only had clinching scenarios for you guys.
Uh-huh.
But now we have clinching scenarios for the top 4 teams.
4.
We have top 4 clinching scenarios. So I did.
Really?
We'll get to it, but we have scenarios for clinching the 1 seed, and we have scenarios for clinching a first round bye. So we'll get
Okay.
there. We'll get there, but some of them are a little lofty. I ain't gonna lie, but
Oh,
it's not mathematically impossible. So that's what I'm going
uh-huh.
for. No, but I appreciate you doing this with me, man. It's
Hey,
awesome.
there you go.
I'm glad I can get everybody involved in this. I mean, it was kind of like a. It was kind of just like on a whim. I told Caleb and Charlie, I really just started this because I just wanted to know what the standings were. So I was like doing it myself. And so
Uh-huh.
I did the standings, and about halfway through me doing them, Caleb sent them. So I was like, well, there's no. I guess I'll just keep going with what I'm doing and just send it to Charlie and see what happens. So
Yeah.
I ended up doing like standings and like point differential and just recorded it and sent it to Charlie. And I was like, if
Yeah.
you want me to continue it, I will. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it was just literally stemmed from me just wanting to know what place the Texans were in and what I needed to do
Hey,
to get up.
from what I can tell, everyone loves it.
I think it's so fun because I'm like, everybody knows that. I'm like, even if we talk smack on here, it's just like
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
church flag football league. We're good.
Right, right.
No, but all
Oh,
right.
goodness.
So I'll do a quick recap. So from week 5, so we only got 1 week remaining in the regular season. From week 1, had their 2:30 slot, had the Chiefs and Ravens actually going into overtime. I don't know how much you heard about this week. You probably heard a little bit,
I
but
heard a lot about our game, but
okay.
not a
so
lot about the others.
Chiefs and Ravens going into overtime. I don't know what the score was going into overtime, but Ravens ended up coming up on top 54-48. It's
Yeah.
actually the first game I've seen go into overtime. I don't know about years past, but
Me too. I believe so. Maybe there was one the first season.
yeah.
Um, but I can't say I've ever
Yeah,
heard of one
exactly.
other than that.
Well, it's like I was on my way to our game and I got a text from Xavier and he was like, "Hey, you could chill," because I was rushing a little bit. He was like, "You can chill. The first game just got done. They went into overtime." I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard. I don't even know the overtime rules. And I was
I would have to look at them.
but um, so all around, all 3 games were really good. I wasn't able to
Hmm.
be at that first game, but going into overtime, I heard it was really back and forth. But I mean, the Chiefs, I know they're 0-5, but
Hmm.
I've said it every week. I think they are a really good team. They're
They
really
are.
talented, and
Literally every week they're getting better.
I know, and I mean they started off, and I said it every week. The first week, I just think they have a bunch of new players that are just kind of learning how we play football, and I
Yep.
mean, even Will, I talked to him a lot after the games, and he was even like there were a couple flags that he had or like how
Hmm.
our fumble rule and stuff like that. That it's
Yeah.
different. So it's just like
Hmm.
stuff you got to learn. So I think every week they're getting better. And he did warn me after this week because there's a good chance that we'll end up playing them in the playoffs. He was like, "I'm playing to win." I'm like, "I believe it, and I'm gonna stay away from you." So,
Oh,
but
that's funny.
no, but moving to the second game, Chargers and Patriots, our game of the week. Sadly, I knew you weren't able to attend, and you guys were missing a couple people. I know, I
Yeah.
know. It was
Eh.
a it was a clinching scenario for you guys. So it was a
Yeah.
win, and you had a first round bye automatically. But Patriots are a good team, pulling out 54-34. I know it was a
Hmm.
good game as well. I witnessed probably 75% of it. I
Okay.
mean, it was a shootout until the end. In
That's
the
what I
end,
heard.
it was a shootout to the end. Literally, it was like score for score. So it was a
Hmm.
really great game. You guys have a great
Hmm.
defense. It was just
Yeah.
like little miscues kind of at the end that kind of let them pull away. So I don't think that
Yeah.
score even reflects how it actually was.
Okay.
Because it really was back and forth. Kind of, I don't want to that we don't really have long methodical drives in flag football, but what you would consider, I guess, kind of long
Yeah.
drives. Um,
Right.
there weren't too many big plays. So I think it was a great game. But moving to our game,
Hmm.
or my game, I should say, Texans and Oilers. Texans pulling it out 54-44. We actually started out really well. So
Mm-hmm.
the score at halftime was 42-18. And
Oh wow.
so we honestly, like, we went into halftime and I looked at the guys. I'm like, well, it's working. We don't need to change anything. Like, we're fine.
Yeah.
And so we came out of half and they started running the two quarterback system, which I hate so much,
Yep.
Marty. I hate because
Yeah.
I know you guys always did it in seasons past. The
Yep.
Ravens did it a little bit when we played them, and it's just like I
Mm-hmm.
just can't. Me being the defensive coordinator, I can't stop it. I can't stop it at all, no matter
Look, I'm
what.
going. I'm going to release some secrets. I'm going to drop some secrets.
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready
So
for it.
after playing for 4 seasons, I've figured out the best way to defend it. And
Yeah,
I don't even think it's possible to completely stop it,
yeah,
but just to slow it down is you gotta man up
mm-hmm.
and then blitz two
Yeah,
guys, one
yeah,
one on the quarterback, one on the second quarterback.
yeah. Well,
Um,
because we didn't run it this past week, but against the Ravens, we tried it. Obviously, it didn't work very well for us, but we ran. It worked a little bit for the Patriots, so we ended up running kind of like a two high cover two. If you were to look at it, just three bottom, two
hmm
high, and we said, all right, our
Yeah.
three guys in the bottom, you're gonna man up and just take who's across from
hmm
you, and then our two deep safeties, you're gonna
hmm
have the running back, quarterback, whoever. Like if your running back's to your right, safety to the right, you'll take him, vice versa.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
it was testy at times during the Ravens, and I think it was obviously the score doesn't reflect it. It seemed like nothing worked that game for us, but against the
That's a good
Patriots,
team, by the
they
way.
are good. They are very good. But against the Patriots, it worked a little bit. So we didn't go back to it, but we did have to man up and start blitzing because we were like they scored three straight times and caught up, and I was like, we just need
hmm
something. Like we can't stop it. So, and I mean,
Yeah.
I forget the number 12, Ashton, on their team. Have you? He wore a tan
Okay.
hat,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he played
Uh-huh.
against us the first week, but this dude has some afterburners. He
Uh-huh.
like I'm not kidding. He so
He
how
does.
how our game
He
started.
does.
How our game started. We scored.
Uh-huh.
Um yeah, we scored and then we were going for two. He picked us off on the goal line and it just took
Uh-huh.
it all the way back. So the score was 6-2. So we were like, all right,
Jeez.
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. So and there was no
Yeah.
catching him. He just took off. So we get the ball back, or we stop them. We score again, go for two again.
hmm
Same exact thing.
hmm
So he literally,
Really?
yes. So he literally
Wow.
takes 200-yard 2-point returns. So it's 12-4, which I've never seen that
Yeah.
score before. And so
No.
there were just so many
No.
times during the game he would get the ball and he started running the two quarterback system. And I looked
Ah.
at Cole a couple times, and me and him just looked at each other. I'm like, I'll help, but I don't know what to do. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't. There was one play they did that I haven't seen before,
hmm
and I've never thought about doing it. But what sideline do you guys stand on?
Usually like the side where the fans sit.
Okay, so we
hmm
usually go on the opposite side, but something
hmm
I don't know if the Oilers did it intentionally, but it was a great play. And
Yeah.
I got like upset that I had never thought about it before. But they had people on both sides, and they would
Uh-huh.
like sub in and off, like off and on. So
Uh-huh.
it was hard to tell who
Uh-huh.
was off and on. And so
Yeah.
he literally came on one time, and I saw it late, and he ran a dig on me.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just could not catch up.
Oh, that's tough.
I was just like, hey, great play call, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he is very good at flag grabbing too. I will
He,
say that. He extremely good at it.
I will say, tackle football does not translate very well to flag.
No. 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 Not at
Oh
all.
my god. But I mean, looking at standings, standings actually haven't changed. So you guys still first place.
Mhm.
But we got a three-way tie. So Chargers, Patriots, Ravens, all respectively 1, 2, 3, all coming in at
Mhm.
4-1. The only thing separating you guys is your points for. So you're sitting at 300
Okay.
points for. Patriots have 287, and the Ravens
Okay.
sitting with 253. So you
Okay.
got a decent lead. But I'll get with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. 13, 2 touchdowns.
Two
Okay.
touchdown lead. Two touchdown lead.
That's not bad.
But coming in 4, 5, 6 Texans, Chiefs, and Oilers respectively. Um, we can move. I'll get there. I'll get there. But the Texans
Uh-huh.
are not mathematically locked at 4, Isaac, as he told me earlier. Not mathematically. Is it a long shot?
Okay.
Yes, but I will get there. But
Okay.
the Chiefs and Oilers, as I said, pulling up respectively at 5 and 6. Honestly, based on how the games all went this week, again, I know you weren't there, but
Mhm.
I don't think record is too much of an indication anymore.
Mm-mm.
Because I
Mm-mm.
literally told our in our huddle, that's probably bad to say this as an interim captain at the time, but I literally came up and I was like, "Yo, I don't want to play the Chiefs. I don't care what we got to do. I don't want to play the Chiefs. I really don't."
Yeah, they're a tough team, dude. I know when we played them, not yesterday, but 2 Sundays ago,
Yeah,
they were up
it
at
was a
halftime.
it was a game. Yeah.
They were up at halftime. So they're not they are not to be taken lightly in any
No,
way.
no, no, not at all. I don't know. It's just it's rough. I mean, I literally had to text Charlie last week and this week and be like, "You got to tell me what we're doing for like tiebreakers," because I'm like, there's so many different things. Like I said, top 4, but
Yep.
you guys, the Patriots and the Ravens, have all beat each other. So it's like
Yeah, I
we
know.
can't do head to head. So he was like, we just
Nope.
got to stick with what we originally said in the beginning, which was points for, and we might change it in the
Mhm.
future. But I mean, like I said, the week 5 standings didn't change at all. Our predictions for the next week has in the next couple weeks, but I'll get into that.
Okay.
But I mean, kind of just going through, like I said, the offensive standings. So offensive standings, I touched it a little bit, but also didn't really change. We last week we had a 3-way tie for fourth,
I
which
saw that.
you don't really see too much.
No.
All had 152 points. So I had to go
Yeah.
to point differential after that. I'm like, I didn't really plan for this. But so you guys still in first place, as I said before. Patriots in second, Ravens in third, Texans, Chiefs, and Oilers in that order. Following that, but all kind of tighten it in the last 3. Um,
Okay.
I don't have the edit made up yet, but I have the picture set on who I'm putting on the offensive slide. Um,
Okay.
I have a very to me it's a disrespect on me because the catch was made on me, and
Oh.
I hate it, but it's a great picture. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's respectable. That's
it's
respectable.
it's when we played the Patriots, it's JMO, and he has this
Okay.
nice one-handed catch that I don't think was
Uh-huh.
called a catch, but I'm
Uh-huh.
looking at the picture and I'm just like, I don't know how to guard that. I'm
Was it
like,
the push off?
it was, it was,
Okay, yep.
it
I was
was.
the one who called it a push off, so sorry about that, JMO,
I
but
literally
I gotta
like
call it fair.
I, it happened, and I looked at Isaac. I'm like, bro, you got to give me something. And he was like, Josh called
Yeah.
it. It's fine. I'm like, I've never gotten into a fight with a ref, but I might after that. I don't know. No, but I literally it was just like I remember telling Isaac, and I had to put JMO on there. He's a dude's unstoppable because I literally
He's
when we played him
extremely talented.
Isaac was refing the game. You and Isaac were refing the game,
Hmm.
and Isaac, there was one play I kind of took him down, or like it was kind of pass interference, but not really. And
Mhm.
so Isaac was like, "Hey, just watch yourself." And I remember looking at Isaac and just being like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna hold him all game. I can't do anything else. It's gonna happen. So if you need to
Yeah.
call it. But I'm gonna hold him. I have to, bro."
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I've been there.
uh, rolling into defensive standings. Again, nothing actually changed. So Ravens still taking that top spot. Patriots coming in second. You guys coming in third. And then
Okay.
Texans, Chiefs, and Oilers respectively at 4, 5, 6. The person I actually got on this slide, I kind of debated between a couple people,
Mhm.
but I actually put Corbin on this one for you
Okay.
guys. I think
Hey, Corbo Island, baby. I love it. I love it.
I literally was like, I was watching him during this past week,
Uh
and
huh.
dude is so passionate
Oh
about
my, he
winning.
brings the energy.
He,
Let me
dude,
tell you.
I was so sad because my last season in the spring, I was only able to make a few games, so I felt bad already.
Mhm.
But dude was like, every time anybody scored, anything happened that was good, dude was so energetic, and I loved every second
Yeah.
of it. And even like he was guarding Kev on a couple of them, and it would
Yeah.
be like a
Yeah.
ball out of bounds or something like that, and he would just be like all full DB, just like no. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved every
Hey, that's
second
how
of
you.
it.
That's great. That's how you gotta be as a DB.
You
I mean, you
do.
see it like in college, like it'll be 20 yards over everyone's head, and they're doing the seatbelt.
Exactly. Oh, I loved every
Like,
second of
all
it.
right, man.
I loved every second of it. So I had to give him a shout out there.
That's awesome.
No, but rolling straight into kind of the looking at individual teams, I'll scroll past this and we can go thoughts after that. So going into you guys, obviously sadly taking that first loss. But I mean, started out 4-0. We do play each other this week.
Yep.
I am sad to say I don't think I will be at the game.
Ah, come on.
So
I think I've maybe played against you once actually in season.
I think so too. I think it was my first season I played you once. And then even last season, I think we were scheduled to play you twice and I had to miss
Yeah.
both games. I'm just avoiding
Mhm.
you. I hate to tell you. Until I get better, I'm just avoiding you. Uh, no, but
Oh, that's funny.
percentage wise, you guys are predicted favored by 13 points in the game, mathematically speaking. Um,
Okay.
but you are the away team, and just to give you a little statistics, you are 2-0 as the away team. Not that that really matters where we play,
Oh,
but
okay.
you are 2-0 as the away team.
We're good on the road, I guess.
Rolling into the Chiefs, like I said, 0-5, taking that overtime loss to the Ravens, but they do follow up with the Oilers this week. They are 6-point favorites coming into the Oilers this week,
Okay.
so I think it'll be a tight game. Like I said, the Oilers are
Hmm.
not a bad team at all either.
No.
I think they figured. Excuse me. I think they figured it out
Hmm.
going into our game. Because I
Hmm.
mean, we even said into our huddle, kind of at the beginning, like we just need to start fast,
Yeah.
because they do adjust really well. I mean, that happened to us in the first game, but so I think that Chiefs Oilers game is going to be really fun to
Hmm.
watch. But Chiefs favored by 6, rolling straight into the Oilers. Have the Chiefs this
Okay.
week. Um, but all looking at their games,
Hmm.
um, the points that they scored, the most points that they scored, sadly, was on us both times. They scored 44 last week. The first week they scored 58. They did have that rough patch against the Ravens, scoring 18, but I believe the Texans still hold the record for the lowest scored
Hmm.
points of 12. So nothing major to be too worried about. But no, that Chiefs Oilers game I think will be
Yeah.
really really good game. Um,
Hmm.
rolling straight into the
The
yeah
the Oilers,
yeah
um, I think when they're a tough team. They got Brady at quarterback. He
yeah
puts it right where it
he's
needs to be.
good.
He is a great
He's a
quarterback.
great
Yeah.
quarterback.
Hmm.
I agree.
And then go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so the first week we played them, they only had 5 players, so they
Hmm.
were pulling people from other
Oh
teams,
wow.
so we didn't get to see their full squad. But this past week,
Hmm.
I mean, we just saw their ability, and
Yeah.
it. like I said, I think all 16. I think you guys drafted very well, and I think you guys all drafted very six well-rounded teams, like coming
Hmm.
into these
Yeah.
last few weeks. Because I remember saying in the first couple weeks, like some of these teams just need to figure it out, and I wasn't trying to take shots at people. It's just like I said, like the Chiefs
Yeah.
just
It was true.
needed to learn how to play or flag football. Like I
Yep.
said, and even like I said earlier, tackle football doesn't really translate here. Like skill
Nope.
wise, sure, but it's a lot different
Correct.
when you're playing on a shorter field. I mean, you only got five people. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
different. So I mean, looking at this last slate of games and them being all really close when they were
Hmm.
not favored to be not as great.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be really exciting when it comes playoff time.
Yeah,
And
and
because
they added Collier to the Oilers. He
yes,
played well against us, and
mm,
he's a good receiver.
yep,
Ashton, like you said, obviously
Ashton's
they have
good.
Mark.
Yeah,
Mark brings the energy. He kind of rallies them.
yes.
You know Mark,
I
yeah.
love Mark and JD. JD's energy I love as well.
Yes, yes, both of them. And then Dan plays hard the whole game.
Yes, he does. He
So
always does.
yeah,
Every season I've been with him, he always plays hard. But yeah, rolling straight to the Patriots. Started off kind of slow with that loss to the Ravens. I believe Keva wasn't there for that game.
correct.
But I mean, now on a 4 game winning streak, they did have the hardest remaining schedule. I'm 12 years
Hmm.
old with the voice crack. Sorry. Uh,
It happens.
but playing the Ravens this week as a 2 point favorite.
Oh
So
wow.
not the closest margin we've had, but a 2 point favorite. I mean, when teams are scoring 60, 70, 80 points, 2 points, I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's a coin toss at that point.
yeah.
But yeah, 2 point favorites, about a 50.8% chance to win the game.
Hmm.
Um, but Ravens rolling into theirs. I mean, they've been up and down. They lost to you guys week 2.
Yep.
But I mean, their defense stepped up week 3 and week 4, only allowing 12 and 18 points respectively.
Uh-huh.
Even to the Chiefs, I know the Chiefs scored 48 on them, but I mean, still holding off on that
Yeah.
overtime win. So I
Hmm.
think the Ravens Patriots game is the game of the week this upcoming week, in that
Yeah.
first slate of games. So that'll be interesting for placing wise, which I'll get to here shortly, in a
Yeah.
couple of our scenarios. But the winner of that game will have a lot easier chance to get to the championship game,
Yes.
statistically speaking. So excited for that.
And that's the thing. Like when we played the Ravens, they didn't have Ryan, who,
Mm-hmm.
if I have to go to, awards, I know you always do, like, who's
Yeah.
your
Mm-hmm. Who's your yeah.
MVP?
Yep.
He would be,
Defensive player of the year, you kind of thing.
yes, yes. I think I'd give it to him. I mean, there's just a lot of talent though, but
Mm-hmm.
he has been lights out.
He's a ball hawk on, I think, the defensive side of the ball. I teased last week that he led the league in interceptions, but I legitimately think he does. Just with how many
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
had 3 against us, and I know he's at
Wow.
least good for 1 a game. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
and he only plays defense now, as far as I'm aware.
Hmm.
But just because they have,
So,
yeah,
so my cousin Clayton is the
yeah,
quarterback of the Patriots, and
right.
Ryan's my cousin. Well, sorry, Clayton, I'm gonna call you out here, but first play of the game, Clayton throws a pick to Ryan. Week one, I thought
I
that
love
was
it.
funny.
I
So
love that. That is funny. Great way to
yeah,
start off the season. The last team Texans. We started out
yeah, yeah.
good. Started out good, 2-0. Then dropped those two to the Ravens and Patriots, but we got back on track with the
Hmm.
Oilers. So sitting at 3-2, and have you guys this upcoming week. Like I said, we're about 13-point underdogs, which it seems
Hmm.
like a large margin, but again, it's 2 touchdowns in this league, so never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, already put the favorites out.
Nope.
Patriots favored by 2. with a 50.8% chance to win this game against the Ravens. You
Mhm.
guys in that second slot, favored by 13 with a 55.2% chance to win. And then the Chiefs
Mhm.
and the Oilers, Chiefs favored by 6 with a 52.4% chance to win the game. And
Okay.
I think that sets us up kind of nicely for our clinching scenarios, which I'm very excited to go over with you, actually. Um, did I
Yeah.
miss some? Probably, because I'm not a computer. I was like trying to stare at the standings, and I'm like, does this make sense? Can this actually happen? So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go through clinching of the number one seed. So I'm sorry, Chiefs and Oilers. It's not possible for you. I apologize. Um, if you could be a one seed at 1-5, I would put you in here. But Chargers, we'll start with you. So you're clinching of the one seed. You need to win, and you need to outscore the winner of the Patriots and Ravens by your point differential. So you
Okay.
need to secure the win, and you need to outscore the Patriots by what, 13? And then you need to out if the
Well,
Ravens
would it be 12 just because we have to beat them by 1 point, right?
12. Yes, yeah. You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
And then the Patriots same or the Ravens same thing. It's more, but it's like 47, something like that. So you would need to
Okay.
win and outscore the winner of that game, and you'll get the number
Okay.
one seed. Pat-
Mm.
Patriots, they need a win, obviously. They need a win and a Chargers loss, or they need a win and to outscore you by 24 points.
Mm.
So there's two stipulations for them. So they could win and you lose, and they
Uh-huh.
get the one seed, or they can
Yeah.
still win and you
Uh-huh.
win and just outscore you.
Wouldn't it be by 14 though?
Yeah, now that I'm doing that, I think I
Yeah.
did math wrong earlier.
It's all good. It's all good. We got it. We got it now.
I didn't pass
We're just...
math. 80s. Hang on. It is 14. Oh, I'm going to change that in my edit. That's a good thing I didn't post that today. We're good. We're good. All right.
Good.
So Ravens, their chance of the number one seed again, got to win and hope you lose is the first one.
Uh-huh.
Or they could win and you win, and they need to outscore you by 48 points. I did do the
Okay.
math correctly on that one, I promise.
Okay. Hey,
So,
you got a 50. That's all
yes.
right.
So, if you both win, they need to outscore you by 48, which is unlikely, but
Yeah.
it is a scenario. And
Uh-huh.
last but certainly not least, the Texans. There is a scenario where the Texans can get the one seed.
Really?
Yes, are we ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, first of all, the Texans need to beat the Chargers by 95 points. Okay, by 95 points. And they need to hope that the Patriots and Ravens don't show up to their game. Or the game gets canceled for some unforeseen reason. Like, I don't know, say deflation of all the balls. I don't like
Yeah.
something of that nature.
Accidental, who
Accidentally
knows?
don't have a ball to play with until, oh, I show up. Great. So Texans need to win by 95 and hope that game doesn't play out, and they will get the one seed.
The chances are slim, but not zero.
So you're saying we got a chance? We got a chance. But
Oh
I
man.
know one seed doesn't get you too much except for kind of bragging rights, especially since there's no true home field advantage. So rolling
Well,
into
you do get a pick
you
who
do.
you play in the semifinals.
That's very true. You do get to do that. So there is a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
Um, but first round bye clinching scenarios. So these are a little more realistic for
Okay.
the lower half, I shall say. So again, Chiefs and Oilers, I apologize. You cannot get a first round bye, mathematically speaking. So again, moving up to the Chargers, your first chance at your first scenario is just to win. Win and you get a first round bye. Too
Sweet.
easy. Your second
Okay.
scenario, you can lose. So if you lose, you need to outscore the loser of the Patriots and Ravens game by the differential that I told you earlier.
Okay.
So even if
Okay.
you lose, you still need to outscore the Patriots by 14 if they lose, or
Mhm.
the Ravens by 48 if they lose.
Okay. I do
So,
like our odds just because that is two very talented teams playing against each other.
yes.
And I don't think it's going to be really high scoring.
Yeah. So, it's a good shot, but you do have technically three pathways to get there.
Okay.
So very likely for you. Patriots, they can either get in with a win again,
Mhm.
or they can lose with a Chargers loss. So
Yes.
they can still lose with a Chargers loss, and they still need to outscore you by that 14 points.
Okay.
So a little bit tougher for them if they lose, but it is still possible.
Mhm.
Ravens, same pathway. They can win and they're in,
Mhm.
or they
Mhm.
can lose and you need to lose. The Chargers need to lose, and they need to outscore you guys by 48 points. So again, a
Okay.
little bit less likely.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it'd be easier just to win and control your own destiny.
Yeah.
But there is pathways for all three of your teams to lose, and you still get a first round bye.
Okay.
Moving to the Texans,
Okay.
we got a shot. That's all I'm saying. We have a shot.
Yeah.
So the Texans, same from earlier. We need to win by 95 against you guys. Okay, that's the first stipulation. We need to win by 95, and we need to outscore the loser of the Patriots Ravens game by the point differential that we have with them. So we not only would need to beat you guys by 95 points,
Yeah.
we would also need to hope that the Ravens don't score more than 50 points than us,
Okay.
and or the Patriots don't score more than 80 points than us.
Okay.
Or no, that has to be flipped. We have to score 80 more points than the Patriots, and we have to
Okay.
score
Yeah.
50 more points than the Ravens. So not only do we have to beat you by 95, we have to outscore the Patriots by 80 and the Ravens by 50.
Look, if all that happens, you guys deserve the championship. I
just,
will.
just hand it to me.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
But I would like to point out, Isaac, that it is possible and we're not stuck at 4 like you just told me. Chiefs and Oilers, as I said, sadly, it's not possible for you guys. You guys are shooting for the 5 seed, and kind of placing on who you'll play, either the Texans or one of the top 3.
Hmm.
But kind of moving into, I liked kind of doing this segment earlier, making the championship game. So,
Yeah.
um, making the championship game, I'll just go top to bottom. Chargers, you have a 55.2% chance to win the championship game or make the championship game. Sorry,
Make it. Okay.
make it.
Okay.
I did do calculations for win, but I'm not going to share them because I don't think they're right. They look kind of weird. So I need to double check my math.
Okay.
Patriots shooting up about 20% based on the win against you guys last week. So
Okay.
this past week, so Patriots now have the second highest odds to make the championship game at a 50.8% chance.
Ooh.
The Ravens dropping a little bit because of that overtime game, as well as kind of just strength of schedule. So
Hmm.
this obviously this game will decide who gets in. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but
Hmm.
if they lose this week, they have to play 2 games, and right now
Yeah.
that's kind of what they're projected to do. So the reason the Chargers and the Patriots are so high is because you guys are projected to get those first round buys. So you would only
Okay.
have to play 1 game to get to the championship.
Yeah.
Versus the bottom 4 teams, it drops significantly because we got to play that extra game,
Hmm.
and it's just another game to lose if you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
And you cannot take anyone lightly in
no,
this league.
no.
Like, that's one thing. Another thing I've learned from these seasons is you can go into a game like, oh, we're playing this team, like, oh, it's going to be easy. And then they come out and
Just
just throttle
yeah,
you.
exactly. Yes, just clock you.
And you're like, what just happened?
Uh huh.
So, yeah, you really got to keep a level head and
Yeah,
know that
I
any
agree.
given Sunday.
I agree, but Ravens' chances to make the championship game dropped to 29.7%. Still not bad, but drop a little bit.
Hmm.
Texans with a 23.1% chance,
Okay.
Chiefs with a 20.8% chance, and the Oilers with a 16.2% chance.
Okay.
For you Oilers people that think I hate on you, I would like to explain my 16.2% chance before you go all whatever on me.
All right.
Because as
We're
a
going to do cancel culture on
okay,
you.
yes, as a projection, I just want to explain my math. Okay, as a projection, the Oilers would have to play the Ravens in the first round.
Oof.
If they beat the Ravens, they would have to play the Patriots or the Chargers in the second round.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a.
then in the championship game, obviously I didn't calculate that far, but in the championship game, they would also again have to play the Chargers or Patriots most likely.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
a rough road.
That's a gauntlet. That's a
So
gauntlet.
again, like we said, all teams are really good, but you got some good teams up top. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Those top three teams, I'm not gonna say there's a separation because every team is really well rounded, and you can't
Mhm.
take any team lightly, like we said. But
Mhm.
I will say the Chargers, Patriots, and Ravens are very good football teams.
Yeah.
You guys, I've said it every week, but I do mean it. Like you guys are very well rounded. The Ravens
Mhm.
figured it out in the middle of the season.
Yep.
The Patriots kind of figured it out after week one, and you guys have you've just known it since draft day. So obviously, all three of you had hiccups along the road, but it'll be an exciting time once this week 6 concludes, and we can see where we're all at. But
Mhm.
I won't take up too much more of your
Yeah.
time. I like to do two
You're
questions.
good.
I like to do two questions before I leave you. So
I got all night.
I need
Okay.
I need an unbiased answer to both of these questions. I know it's tough. And if you say Chargers,
Oh
it's fine.
goodness.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever picked the Texans. But I need an
Yeah.
unbiased, and I don't think my answers change. I need an unbiased championship prediction, matchup prediction. So what two teams do you think will make the championship game?
Oh man, that's tough. All right, so my prediction is going to be based off of everyone on every team showing up that day
I
and
agree.
being
Yep.
at 100% health.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Um, I would, my honest, unbiased opinion would be Ravens and Chargers.
Okay. I so that's been my prediction the past 2 weeks. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to say I do think you guys will play in the championship game. Based on what
Okay.
I've seen and based on I think you'll still contain I think you will retain the 1 seed. So you will have
Mm-hmm.
the mathematical easiest road to the playoffs. Again,
Okay.
I don't want to put any team as like, oh, you're not going to win this because even when I do percentages, like the lowest percentage I've seen a team winning is like 41%. And it's literally
Mm-hmm.
just based on points. So it's like I said, anybody can beat anybody. But
Yep.
you only having
Absolutely.
to win the one game. So I think my prediction is whatever two teams get the first round buys are going to be in the playoffs.
Okay. I like that.
So I'm going to put you and whoever
Uh-huh.
wins this Ravens and Patriots game this upcoming week in the championship game.
Okay.
Now what happens
I
past
like
that,
that.
I will put a later prediction out. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I got. I haven't received too much hate for it yet, but we'll see. That's who I got.
Hey, it is what it is. It
But
is what it
it
is.
is. Last question, then I'll let you go. We talked a little bit about it before, about kind of defensive player of the year and it being Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't asked offensive player of the year to anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
so if we put Ryan as defensive player of the year, who are you
Yeah.
putting as the MVP overall, and then
Uh-huh.
offensive player of the year?
Okay. Oh man, that's tough. So, offensive player of the year.
Yes.
Uh, I think Riley's been in the talk all year, and I
I've
think
always.
that is a solid pick. He is a
Mm-hmm.
great quarterback. He is a
Mm-hmm.
great quarterback.
Hmm.
especially for flag football.
I
Like
agree.
he's elusive.
Yep.
You know, he goes through his progressions. Um, I would say JMO's in that talk
Yep.
for sure.
I agree.
He's a playmaker. You know, he's fast. He's quick. He can run
Hmm.
routes. Um, I got to bring up Seth, our quarterback.
Dude, he
I have to.
I brought him up week 1 or week 2, and I'm like, he is
Uh
just
huh.
lights out. He's throwing things on the
Oh
dot.
my gosh. So
Um,
this is his first season.
I
So
thought
we had
so.
no, yeah. So we had no idea, going into the season, like how he would be.
Hmm.
After week one, we scored, I think, 74. It's like, okay, like
Yeah,
he can
we got
play.
something. Yep. Yep.
And then, but you still kind of, can he do it week to week? He has done
Right.
nothing but prove he can do it.
I agree with that.
You
I
know,
agree with
and
that.
and scoring the most points in the league,
I mean, you guys
that
have,
doesn't,
yeah, you got 300 points.
you
Like,
know, I think that's
a testament a little bit.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. It,
I
it kind of
got you.
speaks to him.
Yeah.
Um, so those would probably be my top three.
Okay.
Um, MVP. That's tough because I feel like you got to go with a guy who plays both ways,
I
who
agree.
stands out both ways.
Yeah. Because I love Ryan, but he only plays defense, like I said.
Hmm.
Not that I said I think he would still be a weapon on offense, and I've seen him play offense.
Oh yeah.
And even like taking JMO. JMO's a great athlete.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play as much defense. At least I shouldn't say that. He does, but he plays that deep safety.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
kind of hard to judge, especially when we played them. We just ran short routes because we wanted to
Yeah.
avoid him and Kev as much as possible. So I don't know
Hmm.
as much, but he seems more of an offensive guy to me.
Hmm.
Again, I think he could play anything on the field, but and
Yeah.
excel at it. But MVP, I kind of agree with you. Um, they are an impact player on both ways, and I
Hmm.
don't know. I think there's a couple guys that kind of come to mind.
Hmm.
Um, Dovon on the
Oh,
Ravens.
yes.
So I know he doesn't play as much defense.
Hmm.
So he would be an offensive player of player of the year for me.
Okay. That's a good
But
one. That's a good one.
um, I don't even know. Dude. What about so Garrett on your guys' team?
Yeah.
So he, first of all, dude, is quick as heck.
Oh my gosh,
Like
dude.
I played with him my first season, and
Uh-huh.
we literally were like, just hand you the ball and run.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just go
He's
get into
so
space,
fast.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get
He is
into
so
space.
fast.
Um, I almost think I almost think I don't have 100% of an answer
I
for
agree.
MVP
I
because
agree. It's a hard thing to
because
judge.
I think you could give it to Kev or JMO, just
Hmm.
based on how they both play on offense and defense, playing both those high safeties, like I said.
Hmm.
Um, I think Riley again playing that high safety, but also excelling at quarterback.
Yeah.
But even on on the Chiefs, they got a couple players as well.
Will.
Will is really good. I know he kind of struggled. He hasn't been to as many games, but I mean, still a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, I was messing with him the past game. I'm like, you got to take it easy on me, homie. I'm like, I can't move like I did in college or high school. I can't. But um, I'm trying to think. Uh, why can't I think of his name? That's gonna bother me so much. There's a couple. Who was the guy who played both ways for the Chiefs in college?
Everett.
Everett.
Yeah.
He's a great player as well, and
He is.
he does play both ways. I don't know if he's been there the past
Yeah.
couple weeks,
Yeah.
um,
And he plays
but
hard.
he does play hard. I mean, he was trying to press me every single time, which I didn't care. Like obviously it's a
Yeah.
penalty in this league, but
Yeah, dude,
I'm
look, I fought and fought and fought for that not to be a penalty just because like at Wittenberg, I played so much press and like
mhm.
love playing press and I think it's a great part of football, but at the same time I understand like
I
it's
get
flag and
why.
you want to keep it
Well, because
non-contact.
I live in press. I'm like I'm not able to catch and
No.
take a shift with a guy. I'm like I have to run with him, like step
Yeah.
for step. So I'm like
Hmm.
I live in press when I was on the football field, and that's just where I felt at home. But no,
Yeah.
I definitely think there are a bunch of candidates, and I think
Hmm.
maybe after this week 6, I'll put a vote out or something. But
That'd be good.
just to see
Maybe just
what people
drop
think.
every guy in the league and
Yeah, and
just
just be like, who do you want?
maybe
Yeah,
like each person gets 3 votes or
yeah,
something.
something
So,
like that. Like,
um, I also think Chris Marker,
oh yes,
he is so underrated, dude. He plays man and he plays man on every team's best player,
yes
and
he
he does a
does.
great job.
Yes he
And then
does.
on offense, he'll come in and make a play, and
That's what I'm saying.
he is,
That Chiefs team has some players. They
yeah,
got some dudes.
yeah.
Um, but
Joe on our team,
yeah,
redhead.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's been flying under the radar of everyone's radar, really.
Mhm.
He at least has 2 touchdowns a game and an
Yeah.
interception. Like,
Well, I will. I try and avoid it to avoid bias, but I don't know if you've ever seen Joe King spin the football a little bit.
hmm.
Joe King can throw the football.
Yes, he can.
And I talked to him before because this will be my last note because I don't need my wife getting mad at me. Uh, but I literally talk to him every game, and I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
why didn't you play in high school? And I'm
He
like,
didn't.
no. And I told him, and I was like, no disrespect to like Mikey. I was like, because he
Uh-huh.
was our
Yeah.
quarterback your senior, my junior. I'm like, Mikey was a
Yep.
great quarterback, but he was
Hmm.
also, I think he would have been a better slot, like where he
Yes.
originally played at. And even my
Hmm.
senior year, I love Robbie. I was like,
Hmm.
but he was a sophomore at the time, so he was inexperienced. And I told
Yeah.
Joe, I'm like, dude, we could have used you. I'm like, you are a great quarterback. And I'm like, if you
He
just
is.
had like, obviously, everybody in this league's good for a few picks a game. It is what it
Hmm.
is. I was
Yeah.
like, but dude can place the ball for not having like that background.
Yeah. I don't know if he's had any coaching of any sort.
Right. And I'm just
So,
like, that's why when I had hosted that camp and back in March, I was like, dude, you have to come put like you have to come with quarterbacks. I was like,
hmm.
just like kind of be with my brother, see I was like, I think it'll be great for the kids to like learn from you and like I just think it'll be a great time. So
Yeah.
I dude can spin the ball.
Hmm.
I tell him every game, but I'm just like so many. Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Hey, you guys are
Yeah.
dangerous too, man. You guys have a lot of speed on your team.
So that's what we all say, and we literally I because we tease, we look at our roster and we don't have anybody over 6 foot or something like that. But like and we laugh, but like we have so much speed on our team too that it's like
Hmm.
we can just run crossers and just be shifty a
Yeah.
little bit. And even Dom on our team, it's his first season as well, I believe. But
Okay.
he's a bigger guy, not like
Hmm.
big, but you know what I mean. But
Yep.
dude, he was a
Okay.
catcher in baseball,
Hmm.
and dude can of like make you
He
miss a
surprised
flag.
me.
He
Yeah,
can make you
he
miss a flag.
surprised me.
He can make you miss a
He's
flag.
like Dawson, man. You look at him and you're
Yes.
like, all right, this shouldn't be too much of a deal. And then they start moving, you're like, yo, like, where'd this come from? So
That
you
first
can't
week,
sleep on him.
I was like, bro, you had like 4 touchdowns and nobody touched you. I was like, what just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
No, but I think like we got a squad. Everybody does. It's just figuring it out. So I
Yep.
appreciate you coming on and talking to me about all this,
Absolutely.
man. It's fun. I love every second of
It
this.
was great. I think
Um,
this is so good for the league, like I said earlier.
yeah.
Like all the first, I'm telling you, not I know I'm not the only one. First thing Tuesday morning, I wake up, like, all
Yeah. Well, I do apologize to whoever. I already told Charlie you can dispense in the captain's chat. I won't have this out till Wednesday morning. I apologize. Me working on Monday kind of threw everything off, so I got to do all the edits and then I'll post it. But it'll be Wednesday morning. But no, I appreciate the support, man. I love it. But I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna, and I'm excited to see these next couple weeks, man. It'll be fun. All right, man. It's fun, man. But all right, appreciate you, man. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you Sunday. Hopefully, hopefully.